Here he is, Ty Ballou, of course, man that is a legend in these parts, especially
Legend.
a legend.
Legend.
When it comes to the world of sports. We'll get into the business of sports in a little bit. But we are at my other home, and yes, it is the home of Jimmy Maggs. It is Baden Bowl. When was the last time you were in a bowling alley?
Rob, it has been a couple years, but it's a pleasure being here tonight. I have never been here in beautiful Baden, the Baden Bowl alley.
The movie Kingpin
Yes.
was filmed here.
Was there? I didn't know that.
And
Yeah.
two legendary sports figures have bowled here on a regular basis.
And who's that? You
Yeah.
and
Both dear friends of Jimmy Maggs and his family, Mario Lemieux.
his bolt here.
Yes.
Okay.
Mario at one time actually lived with Jimmy for a while when Jimmy had a percentage of the pain.
I didn't know that.
And
Okay.
Jerome Bettis, not only a Hall of Fame football
He
player,
is a huge,
right here.
bowling man. So
All right.
yeah, threw a 300 once or twice.
Fatanu, he's the guy, the lineman. The Steelers get it, number 20 from Washington. Going to play right tackle.
Okay.
Broderick Jones going to go to left tackle.
All right.
Now, tonight, 51st pick, second round. It'll
Yeah.
begin at 7 Eastern.
Right.
Out there still a couple of centers, one in particular from West Virginia.
Yeah.
Zach Frazier. How important for our Steelers to get a center?
Well, I think it's important to get a center as well too. I think center and wide receiver are going to be 1-2 or 2-1. They definitely need one. I think Powers is another one that is out there as well too. So I hope they're going to be there at that time. But yeah, I think center is a definite need. You gotta build that wall up front. We got two hopefully stellar quarterbacks. We got a good running game. The offensive line has always been, not always been, but within the last couple of years, probably a weak spot for us. So I think that's important. So they addressed, they got a great pick last night. So, and he's here in Pittsburgh, and I saw him with Mr. Rooney today. Came in commercial. I saw some of the other first-round picks. I kind of love that. Came in on Delta Airlines out of Detroit. Some of the other guys came in on private jets, but he seems like a very humble, good man. So I'm thrilled with the first picks.
Did I ever tell you about my first day? Katie Cat took a Greyhound.
No.
I did.
Is that from where?
From Rochester, Pennsylvania, out in front of the Isley store.
Is that right?
Yes,
And that was what, 10, 15 years ago?
just a couple of years ago.
There we go. And lo and behold, now you run Katie, which is shocking.
Listen, I love Odyssey. They're doing such a great job with this
Yeah.
draft. And we, of course, the Coons Market Black and Gold Sunday Show for all of your grocery needs here in the Valley, especially our location in Hopewell.
How many coons?
Right now, 8.
8.
And in your neck of the woods, Bellevue.
Bellevue,
Big
absolutely.
news coming on a complete new store. We'll be telling you more about that in details, but we're going to be open for business as the new store is being built. So excited about it.
In Bellevue?
Yep. And I
Oh,
saw
awesome.
some architectural
Right down the
plans
street from my home?
yesterday at the world headquarters of Coons. I was with CEO Jody Zima,
Right.
Frank Dentisi, and I must tell you, it is going to be some really
It
exciting
is
stuff. And
much,
the great community of
much
Bellevue.
needed there. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you know, Bellevue.
They bought the YMCA there.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that's going to be where the new store is going to be.
Oh my goodness, that's great.
So
Yeah.
exciting stuff. And the new store will continue to be built as the other store is open, so we'll just be continually open
Wow.
for business. So it's all
Awesome.
good. Now,
A store that I go to.
okay, quit interrupting me.
Okay.
All right, now,
Oh, that's
what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this draft.
Yes.
14 players taken were offensive players.
It's unbelievable. 6 quarterbacks.
Yes, but
Yeah.
the biggest story was Michael Penix Jr. going to Atlanta. What do you
Number
make,
8.
What do you make of that when they just gave $100 million guaranteed?
You know,
dollars to
I
Kirk
think it
Cousins?
shocked Kurt Cousins as well too. As you know, I worked with Kurt when he was up
That's
with
why
the
I brought it up.
Vikings. A good guy. He's 36 years old, a little injury prone.
Achilles tendon tear.
Achilles tendon. You think they would have given him a heads up? He was like at a Falcons rally. He was with the ownership, and out of the blue, little shocked is probably a good. I think that's very high for Penix. I know that they need to groom somebody. They talk about this being kind of a Packers model. When Brett was there, they got Aaron. When Aaron was there, they got Jordan Love. They got Cousins. Now they got Penix. But Penix is 24. So let's say that Cousins has
2 years.
2 good years. He'll be 38. That's fine, and he's a little injury prone. Penix will be 26, almost 27, which is kind of middle age for a quarterback. So I think all the pundits were shocked. I was a little shocked as well. I knew that I had a feeling that Bo Nix was going to go out there. Peyton really liked him out in Denver, but Penix, that was a stretch, and I think the Falcons probably had some other needs. I think people in Atlanta were shocked.
Look, he has dealt with every one of them, from Patrick Mahomes to Kirk Cousins, and the list just goes on and on.
Josh Allen.
Here in Pittsburgh, yes, Josh Allen. Do you think that they should have called him
Kirk
to let
Cousins.
him know?
Yeah,
A lot of people say, it's no
Rob, I
big
know
deal.
you have a huge salary, and Kurt's got they have $100 million invested. I think 80 million guaranteed. He's going to be kind of your franchise guy for at least 2 years, maybe 3. I think you give him a heads up, just out of courtesy. You don't want to
How
cause.
would you position that if you were Arthur Blank?
You know what? I think you position him very easy. Kurt, Kurt, you're a veteran. You've had some great success. You're 36 years old. You're going to have 2 to 3 good years. And again, there's a lot of jockeying going on in the NFL. You know what? We want you to mentor him. And I think Kirk Cousins, who I know a little bit, I think would do that. I think he's a good guy. I don't think he has much of an ego. Of course, they all have some egos, but I think I would have just said, this guy's going to sit, he's going to learn, and let's say that Penix goes lights out and has a great training camp. Well, then you put him in. But, that's
One call.
One call. I think, just out of respect for do you want to upset a guy that you just gave $100 million to?
Okay, let's talk about something. We've always been honest with each other.
Yes.
We just had a conversation the other day about you wanting to kind of wind down a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
And one of the things you told me, and you can correct me or slap me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
Dealing with some of these agents at times in
Yes.
this league,
Yes.
in all sports,
Yeah.
it can be a challenge.
It can be an incredible challenge. You're right. And you know what? There's always jockeying going on. There's all these great experts. I think you and I are as much as an expert as some of these Adam Schefter's or all these people. No one.
Adam Schefter's pretty good.
He's pretty good. But
Yeah, he is.
I guess my point is that it's still a crapshoot of really what's going to happen in the draft. Obviously, everybody knew that Williams was going to go number 1. But for the most part, the agents are up front. I don't know. In this case, it wasn't an agent
No.
thing. The agent for Michael Penix,
It was the team.
I'm going to drop a name, is a good friend of mine, T. Stubb, who's with CAA. They had 3 quarterbacks going to top 12. They had Drake May, Commanders. They had Penix, Falcons, and they had Bo Nix going to the Broncos. Yeah. So, but it wasn't the agent's fault. It's the ownership needs to sit down with Kirk Cousins. So, the agents are doing their job. The agents want, I can tell you the CAA agency was thrilled that he went number 8. I think maybe they were a little shocked that he went number 8. I know talking to that agent, they were hoping that they had 3 quarterbacks go in the top 20. They had 3 quarterbacks go in the top 12, which is remarkable. So,
Well, some of the complaints as far as what they could have done,
yeah.
meaning the team that is now going to be at the helm with Kirk Cousins,
Falcons.
they could have got as Bill Belichick was saying with Pat McAfee last night, they're not edge rushers, they're defensive ends. But Turner to help Atlanta on
Yeah.
the defensive side of the football,
Right.
a wide receiver
A wide receiver.
to help him a little bit as
Yeah.
opposed to getting this quarterback. But the other side of the coin is when you get a chance to get a franchise quarterback,
Right.
you got to get him while you can get him, because if you're going to be winning with Kirk Cousins,
Right.
you're not going to be selecting early on in the draft.
But is Penix a franchise quarterback? He had a good career, little injury prone as well too. That's why he's 24 years old. I don't know if he's going to be the franchise. Again, everybody goes back to Brady. Brady went 6th round, so you really kind of never know how these guys are going to go. I don't think Penix is going to see much of the field in 24, but it was a head scratcher of all the things that happened in first round. That certainly was a head scratcher.
Your beloved Chicago Bears. So
Yes.
Let's talk.
There we go.
Caleb Williams,
Yes.
happy about that?
I think.
Or would you have rather seen it have been Daniels?
No, I don't know about that. A little bit of a coin flip. I think Caleb Williams, he went 7-5 with USC. It's not like he had this incredible lights out, senior year out there. I think he was a consensus number 1 pick. He seems like a good guy. But let's face it, the Bears, Trubinsky, I think in 16 or 17, Justin Fields in 21. Go Steelers, he's here. The Bears have not done a great job as far as drafting quarterbacks. I was there in Chicago. The last great quarterback they drafted was Jim McMahon. And
So you
I was
agree with
there,
that?
and that was 1985. So Caleb Williams, they have a good team. I don't think this is going to be a rebuild year. That division is certainly a very, very difficult division. Drake May will be
New England.
New England. Yeah, he's going to go in New England, but it's I'm happy. A little reserved on that. I don't know if he's going to live up to it. I mean, there's so much hype for the first round pick.
How about that conference though? Jordan Love with Green Bay.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy.
Right.
I mean, and
I kinda like
Jared Goff.
And Jared Goff. And Jared
I
Goff.
mean, that may be the best conference in the
It
NFC
is.
now.
I think, if I'm not and I don't know if I have this right, I think every team had a winning record or didn't. I mean, I think the last team was 8-8. That is a very, very good conference. And first of all, how about that draft last night? What, 275,000 people?
I hope Pittsburgh
I mean,
gets
and I was
it.
born in Detroit, so it makes me feel I'm,
I didn't know that.
Oh, that was a million years ago. But what a beautiful night! What a great venue. Does the NFL do it right?
Roger
Does
Goodell's the best.
What's,
the best.
Roger Goodell
The best.
is the master boy. I mean, they put that on like no
He should
one's
get a
business.
lifetime contract.
Oh my god!
Now he's talking. This is,
Yeah.
you know, making the Super Bowl a global phenomenon,
Right.
And also adding an 18th game possibly.
Yeah, I saw that
and
today.
then President's Day weekend,
Yeah,
the
make,
big game.
make it the longer.
holiday.
I saw that as well too. He is. I don't know if he's genius, but he has done good by that league. He makes that so much money. I don't know how much money is generated at draft. I'd love to see what the viewership
Okay,
was.
being that you are a Chicago Bears fan, you
Yes.
know all about the young man from Ohio State who's now with Pittsburgh. It's all about picking up his options, probably not going to, hopefully getting
Yeah,
a deal
yeah.
done. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields.
Yes.
Come on, fill in the blanks.
You know, I like Justin Fields. I mean, Justin Fields, again, maybe didn't live up to what they expected for the Bears. The Bears organization is kind of a.
See, that's what concerns me
is a
about
mess.
Caleb Williams. You got to remember, he had Lincoln Riley,
Yeah.
who's a quarterback
Right.
whisperer,
Yeah.
And has done incredible things, not just with Caleb Williams, but
Right.
others. And your head coach in
Yeah.
Chicago is a little skeptical there.
Everflus, am I
Yeah,
pronouncing that?
Eberflus, Matt Eberflus,
Matt
right.
Eberflus, yeah. So, no, they haven't, they are not noted for developing quarterback. You know, Mitch actually had some success there. And
He did.
And they moved on from, won a playoff game for them. So it's,
They're getting a new stadium now.
yeah, I heard that.
What do you think about that?
You know what,
I'm going to miss Soldier Field.
I went to my first football game back in 1966, 67, when I was a wee lad, was in Wrigley Field. That's where they used to play, yeah. And the end zone went right into the ivory. I was there with my grandfather. Remember the man in back of me that had like an 8-foot-long cigar, and I couldn't stand it. And everyone was smoking cigars back then. They were wearing the fedoras. But I like Soldiers Field. It's a beautiful venue right there. I think they're talking about still building it there somewhere on the lakefront.
Right.
You know, I don't know. They have this stadium. That stadium seems to be fine. There's luxury boxes everywhere. I mean, it just.
I wouldn't put a roof on it because that's one of your.
No.
That's the 12th man.
No, I wouldn't put a roof on it. I'm glad that Buffalo would build a new stadium. I mean, it's like
Hey, so why would Buffalo
trade
with
back
Kansas City?
because I think they're okay. I have a little prediction here. I think they're gonna go. They're gonna have the first pick tonight at 7 or 8 o'clock. I think they're gonna go with Mitchell, the wide receiver from Texas. I think they knew who they wanted to pick. I think they talked to Kansas
But
City.
Xavier Worthy now becomes their Tyreek Hill in Kansas City. Guy
Yeah.
ran a 4.240.
Yeah, but he's 5'10", 165.
All right.
I mean, Robbie.
I like big wide receivers.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I love those fast guys, and they get Patrick Mahomes. That guy is tiny, and granted, he's a speedster, but it's not. You know, the Bills got rid of Stephon Diggs. Of course,
Right.
he went down to the Texans.
So they made
Gabe
CJ Stroud
Davis,
better.
Gabe Davis, who I liked, went down to the Dolphins. So they need that kind of big, more possession. You got Kincaid, the tight end, but they need a bigger receiver. That's why I think they're gonna. I think Mitchell will be the first pick tonight. I think he will go to the Bills. So the Bills have the 33rd pick.
So, Gardner.
But it's kind of strange. Sorry,
That's okay.
but I mean they traded with the Chiefs. You know, the Chiefs and the Bills have a little bit of history together. I mean, when I saw that, I don't usually stay up late. I was watching it. It was around 11:30. I'm like, the Bills made a trade with the Chiefs. I mean, that's like.
Gardner Minshew is the bridge in Vegas, but I got to tell you what's going to make his job a whole lot easier. They got my favorite player in the
Which
first
is
round, Brock Bowers. the
Oh,
tight
Brock
end.
Bowers. It's a monster.
He is.
Yeah.
When he can do it all. He can
Yeah.
he can be in a slot,
Right.
tight end.
Yeah.
He can split him wide.
Yeah.
I mean, and what he can do with
Kinda like Gardner
yards
Minshew.
after the catch.
Right. Yeah.
And Gardner Minshew, listen,
He's a serviceable quarterback.
and he got a $25 million deal out of it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's bounced around a little bit.
Raiders
but-
have been known to do it.
But he wins. He wins games.
Just think of another Heisman Trophy quarterback who they gave up on in New England, Jimmy Plunkett,
Yeah.
who went to the Raiders.
Jimmy Plunkett, my goodness, he did.
And what do you think about Reggie Bush getting his Heisman back? Come on,
And I
man.
saw that.
Legend Ty Ballou.
Mixed emotions on that. I mean, it's. I guess I'm okay with that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me
yeah.
too.
So it's. He got it back. Pete Rose is still not in the Hall of Fame. We could go on for 2 hours.
I don't think he's going to
about-
get Kim Kardashian back.
No, I don't think so.
And that's too bad. But
Yeah.
he's going to get the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah. You think
back.
Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Yes, I do too.
I do.
I go from Reggie Bush.
Did you
to
hear what
Pete-
he said?
Hmm.
If I had an
Oh,
interpreter,
yeah, I
I'd
did.
be free.
It's brilliant. Absolutely, yeah. And I haven't heard anything about the
But
Ohtani thing.
listen, Otani's great for the game, though, man.
He is good for the game. 16 million less though in his
Why don't
pocket.
you do a deal with him?
Yeah, he's going to be a little pricey.
Yeah, can
he's
you
gonna
imagine? You have a
yeah,
global
yeah,
product, though.
And you know what? He's not pitching, and he's leading the majors in hitting. It's just he's amazing. Like,
Uncanny.
I'm not going to pitch, but I'll just be the best
Well, and with
hitter
all
in
this,
baseball.
all the noise going on around him.
Yes, yeah. He's one off. I still think he's going to pitch, but
All right, so do me a favor. Tell the audience a little bit about your story, Ty Ballou, because this
Yeah.
is the guy probably the most connected to the world of sports that I know and can speak about anything in the way of sports. So tell it, folks.
how the story is, I started PLB Sports back in 1996.
Right.
I backing up a little bit on that. I was lucky enough to be working at Clark Candy as a VP of Marketing and Sales, and lucky enough here to be in Pittsburgh. I did a couple products with the Penguins. I did the Lemieux Bar back in '93. Worked with Reggie Jackson in 1993 when he won the Hall of Fame. Decided to start my own company. Amazing. Working with professional athletes and helping them kind of brand their name, mostly in the grocery space. So it was been a good run for, that was in '96. I started actually my first company back in '93. So for 28 years, we've worked with athletes such as, currently Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen.
But you always tied it into a charity.
Always tied into a charity, yeah, absolutely. And this is the 25th anniversary. I always bring this thing up, but it's a thing that launched it with Flutie Flakes with Doug Flutie. We were going to try to sell 25 to 50,000 boxes. Doug was with the Bills. The Bills back in the late 90s were not very good. Rob Johnson gets hurt. Doug Flutie goes in. ESPN comes up with a box of my cereal, Flutie Flakes. We sell 3.2 million boxes of cereal. The greatest thing about that, and the thing that I'm most proud of, is that when I did that with Doug, Doug was launching his charity, the Flutie Foundation. We are going to try to raise $10,000 to $15,000. I've helped him raise over $16 million with the Flutie Foundation. So that's good. Josh Allen gave all his money away to the Children's Hospital. I helped Patrick Mahomes set up his charity. Got started with him before he went to the Super Bowl, and he builds sporting complexes and playgrounds in Kansas City.
So your thoughts about the Buffalo Bills ownership?
Yeah, you know what?
We love our Buffalo.
We love our Buffalo Bills. That's a little bit surprising. The Pagula family owns both the Bills and the Sabres. They own both
They
teams.
just got a new.
Yeah. They're building a new stadium. There's a little bit of pushback on the PSL. I don't know if that surprised me a little bit. I mean, Mr. Pagula is a billionaire. Maybe he wants to divest a little bit of that, little some of that. I think, the Sabres certainly need some help. So maybe bringing on a minority investor and helping maybe market. He doesn't really market the Bills. The Bills are like the Steelers. They sell every game. But it was a little surprising. But
This is going to happen. You ready?
Go ahead.
I love Bill Belichick.
Yes.
He did a incredible. I watched it on YouTube. I did a chance. Pat McAfee was from
Yeah. He did a
West
great job.
Virginia, the Colts. He Bill Belichick.
His personality, doesn't he?
He's the reincarnation of that big guy, John Madden.
Yes.
And he could
I
stay.
love the personality that finally came out.
Yes, but here's the thing. He loves football too much.
Yeah.
McDermott will not get it done this year in Buffalo.
You think that Belichick will go up
And then way he can do what he wants to do. But the rest of that Eastern Conference realize that he's still a top.
Well, maybe.
He's competitive.
This is year 7 for Josh Allen. Not that is, and they love Josh up there. They love the
Come on
Bills.
now.
I understand.
And they do that Diggs go?
Yeah, they've been at the altar. They have been.
They have
close.
to do it now.
They have to do it now. I mean, they kind of rebooted the team. I mean, Hoyer's gone. Micah Hyde's gone. Gabe Davis is gone. I mean, they're saying, hey, these guys got us close. They're going younger. They may do some things with free agency. Yeah, I would say a little bit of the hot seat. They have to do it now. They have to do it with the next. Josh is 28. I mean, isn't it? But you know, the bugaboo is Patrick Mahomes is getting, never count up bad. I mean, it's getting past Patrick. And is he slowing down, Rob? Is he? I mean, no. It's
but
like
as long as Kelsey's there, he'll be there.
Yeah.
Hollywood Brown, Rice, who knows what's the future?
I don't know.
Reaching off the Joe Annex. And I know that they just done some things in the draft, but
Yeah.
in my opinion,
Belichick to the Bills.
when Travis Kelsey retires, it's going to be a whole new.
Well, I'm not going to say that that's not possible. You know,
It's getting close.
It's getting close.
And if he walks down the aisle with that incredible talent,
Yeah.
it's not like he needs a paycheck.
Yeah, but Belichick had Brady. I mean, so Belichick would have
Josh,
maybe. Yeah, I mean, look what happened. Yeah, no, and Josh is definitely in his prime right now. And yeah, the Bills have to do it right now, but it's that division.
I can envision him in Buffalo, just like I remember him in Cleveland.
in Cleveland, right?
And in New England, but I don't see him in Dallas. I didn't even see him in Atlanta. I didn't see him in Washington.
I was shocked in Atlanta. I thought he'd end up in Atlanta.
Arthur Blank may regret that.
I think he might have. He regret that too.
But hey, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
But if we at least get him as a gift, and from what I understand, he's going to do every Monday with that match.
Yeah, I heard that as well too.
Now I got to do some other business with you.
Okay.
Then you got to get to a game. We're going to talk
Yeah.
about that location that you're headed to just a bit.
Yep.
Why it's making some really good news in the world.
Yeah.
Amazon today, Adam Silver, the NBA commission, that partnership now. So here we go again. I probably don't let you know about all of this stuff. I love what Amazon's doing. I love what Peacock is doing. I love the networks.
Right.
We've got Westwood One with Odyssey, and that's free, by the way. I
Yeah.
love listening to football on the radio, 93.7 The Fan, select games on KTVA. What's happening in the world of sports when it comes to turning on your television?
Well, I think it's all about making money, Rob.
They're making it.
Is it making money? So, I mean, Amazon, I think with the NFL, pays, I think it's multi-billion dollars for just Thursday night games. I didn't realize. So the NBA made a deal with Amazon, which is going to be, I mean, I wasn't a fan of putting logos on jerseys, but of course that generated money. I mean, it's like I'm
You
not
come
here.
from what you did? They do it in racing, why not?
I know. It's fine. So, what do I think about that? I think about we're going to be years, not too far from now, we're going to probably be paying to watch all our games. The free coverage of the NFL, NBA, even hockey. I mean, it's kind of moving in that direction.
I told Jimmy when I retire, I want to come and work the counter here so I
Yeah.
can pay for my streaming services.
I
honest,
understand.
I don't have.
I have Peacock.
I don't have many pleasures in life at this
Right,
age.
yeah.
But that's to be able to watch these sporting.
Absolutely.
I
Right.
mean, even YouTube TV. I mean, it's
Yeah,
all,
I know. It's all fragmented, but Rob, it's all about money.
And like
what does Amazon do for the NBA?
well, and then Stephen A. Smith with a podcast on the people that take care of my family, Odyssey. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, you have a gift.
Yeah.
When you ever do decide to say goodbye,
Okay.
you need to do more of this because you've got stories, you've got
No,
money.
I don't know
I've
about
often
that.
said,
I can't
you
follow.
would have been a great agent, but here's the reason.
Yeah.
I just think, not that I don't want to use the word integrity, but you've led with your heart your entire life. And I think that's a very tough
I
business to be in. You gotta
That's
you
a
gotta have
tough
tough
business.
skin.
You do. Yeah, you have to be a little snake oil salesman as well too. It's not all about Tom Cruise and Cuba Gooding Jr. and all. I mean, that is a different kind of business. And I certainly can't get into radio because I can't. To be in your shadow is too big. So I am
Not
just
as big as
thrilled.
it used to be, so
I
I
am.
slimmed down a
Yeah,
little
you
bit.
are. You look great. I'm just thrilled to be here with you today.
Explain to me why I gained like 3 pounds in one day. I think it was a bag of pretzels.
I don't know,
I
but
watched the
that's even
draft.
shocking. You are getting more.
Hey.
You look more fit every day, Rob.
Speaking of getting fit, these guys, it's always your dream
Yeah.
to use the fitness aspect to be able to raise awareness. Talk about blue skies and obviously We love him, still with us.
Yeah.
When many never thought he would live this long.
Yeah. Well, Blue Skies is a charity I started on behalf of my son Ryan, who has Duchenne muscular dystrophy. We raised money for research that was done initially at Ohio State and moved to the University of Indiana. It wasn't for a cure. Unfortunately, Duchenne muscular dystrophy is a terminal illness, but it was to try to keep the hearts of boys, and only boys get Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Worked with this incredible doctor, Suba Rahman. It's one of the greatest things that I'm really proud of in my life working with her. Helped raise millions of dollars. We're doing great things. Ryan, God bless him, was only supposed to be with me until his early 20s. Next month he turns 37. So bravo to that. So good living, good life. You've done an incredible amount of work with Blue Skies, and I can't thank you and KDK enough.
All right, before we're done, you're going to this location in Leesdale. Tell everybody about it.
So I'm going to go to Rise Sports. It's RIZE Sports. It's a new basketball facility in Leesdale. Rob and the viewers, it's absolutely incredible. It was built by a local gentleman here, Thomas Tull, for AAU basketball. Words can't describe how absolutely this facility is. My grandson, Robert, plays on the AAU team there, so we're going to go out there and hopefully do a broadcast out there to show it. There's 4 courts. There's various basketball tournaments going out there too. It opened about 6 months ago. It is probably the best AAU facility, certainly in North America, maybe in the world. I can't even explain how absolutely beautiful this is. It is first class. Thomas and his staff do an absolutely remarkable job there. So.
They can use it. When future stars come to play, you can reach for this.
There we go.
All right,
awesome.
Now, before you go, I got to talk to football. Let me just do some of these quarterbacks and give me your thoughts.
Okay.
All right, Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams, experienced, very smart quarterback. Not just a pocket passer, but very mobile as well too. I think he's going to be, they hope he's going to be a Patrick Mahomes type player, multi-dimensional, very smart guy.
All right, Washington Commanders, Jaden Daniels, accurate, deep passer, explosive runner.
Yeah, very good. Well, probably is the best athlete of the quarterbacks out there. I mean, the guy is just phenomenal. I mean, he gets out of the pocket, he's dynamic, maybe like a Lamar Jackson. He can't run a lot in this league because the guys are so much bigger. But to me, he's a little bit the wild card. He's the one I want to watch because I think the upside for him is incredible. His athleticism and his arm strength is second to none.
New England Patriots take Drake May, who's comparing himself to Josh Allen. Bill Belichick said last night.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see about that.
We'll wait and see.
But the kid is good. He's got size. His dad was a player. His dad was a coach.
I like it.
He's great.
He's a big, he's a good kid. There's a lot of big kids on there. He came out of North Carolina. We'll see. That's a pretty crappy team. So I think I have modest expectations for him. Not because of him, just because I think the Patriots.
All right. So they say he's a home prospect. He went 15-0, won a national championship.
I like him. I like J.J. McCarthy.
And he goes to Minnesota.
I like it.
I mean, he's
you know
got
what?
the players right there waiting for him.
He's got some players out there. I know that Tom Brady and whatever too. I don't know. I'm going to rooting. I don't know why. I'm rooting for him a little bit too. The guy wins a lot of games. He's incredibly accurate. He maybe doesn't have. I think too much is put in the combine. Maybe his 40 speeds were the best. Maybe he didn't lift, but I think he's got a plug-in team there. I will root for him in Minnesota.
They say there's some Drew Brees comparisons.
Drew Brees. I think he played for
Sean Payton knows a little bit.
I think he played for 10 years in college. He was 6 actually. He was at Auburn, went to Oregon. I like him as well, and I think Sean Payton. I guess they compare him to Drew Brees. That's high accolades there. I mean, Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer. I think that's a good spot for them. Denver has not done a very good job. Obviously Russell out there, he didn't work out very well for 2 years. Payton is a very good coach. We'll see, but I think it's a good fit for him. I think there's a lot of expectations of him.
Do you think the best passer is Michael Penix Jr. coming in?
The best passer,
throwing the football, the deep ball, which really
I think
is
he
the
can
money
throw.
shot.
Yeah, but having the strongest, does he have the strongest arm? Yeah. Is he the most accurate passer? don't know if he's the most accurate. So, I mean, can he throw the ball 75 yards? Yeah, but I don't know if that's...
Left-handed quarterback.
I think... No, not really. I think the quarterback...
Zip Zorn.
Look at the recent greatest quarterbacks. Brady, Peyton Manning, maybe Drew Brees. They were, the quarterback has to be the smartest guy. I know nothing about Penix, he maybe has too, but, I think people fall in love with his stats. I think people fell in love with his arm strength. We'll see. And he hasn't been that durable in college, so we'll see. The jury is out on that too. It's still a head scratcher. He should be drafted. I had him going second, maybe third round, but hey, what do I know? I'm here in Baden. I'm not on the big draft board, so what do I know?
All right, so you got two more quarterbacks out there. Actually, three. Some of the people are talking about
Spencer Rattler.
out of South Carolina.
Yeah.
And Michael Penix.
Yeah.
Out of Florida State. So that's three.
I don't know much about them. I know a little bit of Spencer Rattler, but I know his agent very well. He bounced around a little bit. I think they're going to be projects, Rob. They're going to get drafted.
Perennial backup. Do they make it?
They make it a Brock Purdy. I mean, again, this league is so crazy. If they get into the right situation, look at Brock Purdy out in San Francisco. Perfect team, great situation out there. He's not assistant quarterback, he's a very good quarterback. So yes, those guys can do very, very well. And you know what? Getting drafted the second, third round, some of the pressure's off. The pressure for these first six guys, first round pick, is going to be, and they used to have these guys sit. Penix will sit. All these other guys are probably going to start.
All right, so here it is. They've got the 51st pick, and then they've got two in the third. The second coming from the Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Before I talk about those picks, if you had a chance to have a cup of coffee or hold a few frames for Kenny Pickett, maybe after a year or two, and you lighten up a little bit, would you say to him, what were you thinking? Making the decision to kind of force the hand of the student.
Yeah.
Because I think he's in a worse situation now.
I think so too. In Philadelphia, yeah.
But ego,
he could have been a whole
down.
exactly. I know we're talking about Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
You know what I'm rooting for? I'm rooting for Mason Rudolph. I'm rooting for that.
Well, that could work.
That could work there in Tennessee. So you know what? Shame on Kenny Pickett. You know what? Yes, he got injured, and yes, he had Matt Canada, and there's a lot of different excuses there. You plug in Mason Rudolph, who never said a word. Never was a great teammate. Came there, won 3 games. Yes, he lost the playoff games, but it's. I don't think that situation. You think the fans are tough here in Pittsburgh? Yeah. You and I have been both in Philly.
You being a business guy, this is where it's going to get interesting. So you had Caleb Williams say, "I'll come to your Heisman Trophy celebration, but you got to bring my offensive line." So he took a stand, but he was also the guy saying media percentage of the Bears and all this stuff.
Right.
And with name, image, and likeness, and I'm all in on it.
Yeah.
Now these guys are not only jumping ship after 1 year to get to a better situation and get bigger headlines, but now when they're coming in, they understand cash flow and how it works.
Yeah.
So they're going to be twisting the wrench with these owners and these teams more than ever.
Yeah.
So the draft as we know it, and the future of the sports business as we know it, could be on the verge of changing in a drastic way, putting more power in favor of the athletes than ever before, right?
They're coming in, these guys as millionaires. Millionaires.
Right.
Yeah.
Some are staying in school because they can make more money that's going into the draft.
I'm changing a little bit. I read last week, Duke, preeminent basketball powerhouse, lost 7 players. I mean, when you get 7 in the portal. Now, when you get picked to go to Duke, it is, I don't know.
Mecca.
It's a Mecca, thank you. I was trying to find the word for it. 7 guys like, well, we're going to go on and get more money elsewhere. No, I think the NAL space, we'll do that for another day. It's just changed everything. You're right. It's, the quarterback and these big players have a lot of power. They're going to have even more so. I don't know. All right.
50 years ago.
Yes.
1974. Some say the greatest draft in the Steelers. Then Swan, Stalwart, Donnie Ship, Mike West.
I graduated high school. Go ahead. 74.
Do you ever think you'll have a team
No.
on the field? And then, obviously already on the team, people like Joe Green, Terry Bradshaw, Franco, Rocky, think about it.
No. You know what? You hope to get 1 or 2 really good, you never think, well, there's going to be you think, yes, we'd like to get a Hall of Famer. But you want, in this draft, you want to get one or two really legitimate, maybe three, but two players. It's insane what happened 50 years ago. It just, I don't know if it was brilliance on the draft, luck, maybe the team is, but no, I don't think you're ever going to see that again.
All right, we close with Ty Ballou. What you dislike the most about sports, and then what you like. So dislike. What upsets you as a fan?
What I dislike about sports.
Let it fly.
Yeah. I'm not happy about all this NIL stuff that's going on in college.
Is it going to hurt college football?
It's going to hurt college football. I mean, I like when someone
Makes a commitment.
makes a commitment and stay there, fine. If they want to leave after 2 or 3 years, it's fine. But this draft portal and the money and people changing everything, I mean, I'm old school, I'm like you. You know, it's when you came to Penn State.
But you know, if the NCAA was been a little bit more lenient years ago, you would have never got it.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, money was being done. It was just under versus over
It's
the
always
table.
been name, image, and likeness.
Yeah. So that's what I dislike. What I like the most, you know, this draft.
I love it.
You know what? I love seeing these young kids when they break in and they show them with their families. And even though, yes, there's millions of dollars there, the emotion that comes up, the excitement, mom and dad, uncle, aunt, grandparents there. I mean, I shed it to you. I get emotional. It's just like, you know what? Those are my kids. I mean, it's incredible. And you know, the NFL, we talked about this, is like no other. I mean, Major League Baseball is this way. You don't get it. You don't get it in football or in basketball or hockey. So I'm thrilled for that. So I enjoy. I almost see some of the innocence. I mean, the money's not even there. It's that these kids are now, and we have kids that are grown up or in college that now they're going to be starting their life. So yeah, I like the excitement of these young guys coming into all these different leagues and seeing, even with the Pirates, the young players that come up with the Pirates, and knocking them over, they'll do well.
I love youth meets experience when it comes to sports coverage.
Yeah.
I mentioned Pat McAfee. I love him. Tony Mahler, 93.7
Yeah.
fan. Starkey, Dice, love it. People I work with, Craig, I don't know. But maybe it's because of how our fathers were with us.
Mm-hmm.
I love Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
Lombardi, Chuck Noll,
Old
Bill
school.
Cowher, Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
Bill
Yeah.
Parcells to me, Bill Belichick mentioned it.
Parcells, yeah.
I stopped what I was doing and I just spent about 10 minutes thinking about Bill Parcells, Don Shula,
Yeah.
Tom Landry.
Yes.
I mean, these
Tom
were
Landry
Marty
and his
Schottenheimer.
fedora. Absolutely.
These coaches today are
Yeah.
great, and there are so many young ones who are doing incredible things.
Right.
Such respect for them.
Yep.
But I think not only do we have the greatest generation of players,
I agree.
maybe because it was a little bit more raw and real, it wasn't all about business.
Yeah.
And I think people in the stands could relate
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they were on the same wavelength and pay scale for the most part,
Yeah.
right? And these athletes deserve everything they're getting.
Yeah.
Everything has changed. Social media has changed everything.
Yeah.
But to have said that I had a chance to watch Bill Belichick all those years,
Right.
and then see Bill Belichick dressed like a movie star and talking like one of the guys.
Yeah.
And let me tell you how strange I am. These guys, they use a lot of words that I just don't believe should be on the air. That's my opinion. Whether it's, social media or whether it's the internet or whatever. I just think you should be respectful. And I know that's locker room talk, but I could never drop an F-bomb.
No.
And I'm
It's
crazy
respect.
last night. I'm turning the sound down. And it was great content, but what is it with that? Why
Yeah.
can't I handle that?
Yeah.
Because
Because you weren't brought up that we weren't brought up that way. There's this certain thing. It wasn't part of our DNA. It wasn't part of that was never. Another guy that I'm sorry that I want to put in there too is Mike Ditka. I love Mike, Iron Mike, Alec Whippa, Bears, just a great thing as well too. And the same thing, the respect that I had for him.
he willed that team to the Super Bowl.
He did.
Because they were a bunch of knuckleheads like me.
Yeah, but a lot of egos. Mike certainly has a big ego as well too. But that team should have won maybe 2 or 3 Super Bowls. But yeah, I
Do you
know.
think about this? Mike Ditka, when they say the Mackey, John Mackey,
Yes.
okay, Brock Howard has got it a couple of times. That's because of the big tight end of Johnny Unitas.
Right.
The tight end that really transitioned to
It's Mike Ditka.
Mike Ditka.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
Watch any of the highlights.
catching, blocking, he was brutal. He was absolutely brutal going down. Lovely guy.
Yeah.
This has been wonderful.
Dick's Steakhouse, absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So,
I was there 2 nights ago.
when you were a child growing up, your sports hero,
Yeah.
and we'll definitely close on this one.
Yeah.
Who did you idolize as a kid?
My sports heroes. Well, I love baseball, so I'm dating myself. Mickey Mantle.
Oh.
I would go to Comiskey Park,
watched
wa-
him play?
watch him play. Yeah, I was very, very
Was he in
young.
his prime still or no?
He was
Right
more
at the
kind of the tail end, so I loved watching him. So him, Gale Sayers was another one too.
You saw him?
I saw him. I met him.
The Kansas Common.
Yeah, thinking about him, he was making like $20,000 a year. He worked at my grandfather's stock brokerage company. Worked there as a, so I got to meet him.
Brian took a little Nashville with him there?
Yes, yeah. I never get Brian's song. We could talk about that.
I can't watch it.
I can't. When that music comes on, it kills me. The same thing.
I want you to remember not how he died, but how he lived.
Oh my God!
And I just start falling with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It was just on the other day.
That was
Jimmy
Billy
Conn,
D.
Billy
Williams. Yeah.
Jimmy Conn.
So there we go.
Before Jimmy Conn started the Godfather.
Yes.
Now, me,
Yeah.
obviously, from there.
Yeah.
Steve Glass, who recently celebrated his birthday.
Yeah.
Winner of 2 complete games
How about
and 7
Naz?
more roses.
Naz?
Yeah, definitely. Bradshaw,
Yes.
Franco,
Yeah.
Joe Green, Chuck Noll to this day.
Right.
My high school boys. I mean, Coach Power was my greatest, my hero of all time, Muhammad Ali. And
The
what?
greatest.
Of all time.
Yeah. He's great.
And I think about what he did and what he lived through and what
Yeah.
he stood for. And I just hope who's ever out there on the field of athletics today never lose sight of the people who paved the way. I was so happy for Michael to win with his NASCAR team.
Yes. It's awesome. It's awesome.
And I love what's happening in the NBA. I love
Yeah.
what's happening in the NHL. I just love the world of sports. Bowling,
Yeah.
sports, shooting a game of pool. Where would we be?
Yeah. Without sports. Well, we wouldn't be here in Baden at the Baden Bowl. I don't know where
What's
we'd
your
be.
weekend like? What are you doing? Anything exciting?
This weekend, I've got more basketball at Rise Sports. Hanging out with my son Ryan, and I have a date on Sunday with a beautiful lady. So it's all good.
Listen, you're the best.
Yeah. We're the best
What's
too.
next for you? You know?
I'm gonna hopefully hang out with you, enjoy retirement for a
We're working
while.
on something.
We're working on something. Yeah, just
They've been telling me that for 10 years
stay
now.
tuned. I don't know.
All right, listen.
I love you too.
Listen, family fun, never been better. Even when the sun is shining, it's always the right place here, inside. Come and bowl a few frames. Jimmy and Frankie and the whole gang. Love to see you. Baden Bowl.
There we go.
Center Lanes.
All
Don't
right.
forget, Shadow Lakes getting ready for another great golf season. The best public course in the Commonwealth. Don't forget, Coons Quality Food Sports tomorrow, 5:15 a.m. and every half hour until 7:45 a.m. We break down the entire track up to the point that starts at
Steelers.
after the news at 11 on Sunday, Food Market, Baden Bowl Sunday Show. Greg Dallas and Fernando and me. And for all of your holiday shopping, because it will be that time, month away, the grilling season, Memorial Day,
My
the
birthday.
burgers, a birthday, a celebration, anything you have planned, even a big draft party weekend. Get to Coons Quality Foods. How do you find one near you like the one in Hopewell? Click on coonsmarket.com. It's your
Mine's in
Pratte Pack.
Bellevue.
It'll be a new store. You're going to love it. Ty Ballou, your Pratte Pack. Good night from Baden Bowl. See you on
night.
the radio tomorrow.
Ciao.